All right, today I'm going to talk a little bit about red light usage in astronomy. And if you're an amateur and you might have just gone out, to a star party or something, and seen a bunch of people, with their telescopes running around with a bunch of red lights, you're wondering, well, what's the red light for? So just go back a little bit here. So we have night vision, and the night vision that we have is something that occurs when we go outside and we let our eyes adjust to the darkness so we can see more detail. So you can imagine going from, very brightly lit indoors to the outside, and everything kind of seems washed out. So you have to let your vision kind of adapt to the darkness so you can see more detail. But when you're out there and you're doing astronomy and you've got your telescope out there, your binoculars, or just looking at the night sky, you might want to access, like a star map. So here's a star map. This is the Sky and Telescope's Pocket Sky Atlas. This is just a great sky atlas. But you might want to be looking at, something up in the sky, and you're kind of trying to figure out, some other things to look at with this chart. But it's pretty dark out there, so you need some form of light. Well, if you use a standard flashlight, okay, like this one here, and you put it on, it's just going to reflect right off that sheet. It's just going to mess up your night vision, and you're going to have to kind of start over again and wait for your eyes to adapt. And if you're with other people, they're not going to be happy when you turn this light on either. So the solution is to use a red light. So I'm going to talk about some options here. And red is, a color that's pretty traditional, that's been used, and it really helps protect that night vision. So first light I'm going to talk about is this one. This is a kind of an army style flashlight. These are really inexpensive. They just run off of standard batteries. And this one's got actually a red filter on it. You can see here. Yeah, turn it on. And you can use this then to look at your map and help protect your vision a little bit. So that's the whole idea of having a red light. Like this one, again, it's really inexpensive. The filters, you just unscrew the cap here, and they come right off. And then you got a white light again. And the nice thing about this version, it's got the filters are actually stored here in the base, so there's a blue filter in here as well. So this is a great option and something to consider. Another good option is this one. This is a variable red light. It's got a nice lanyard here. You can hang it around your neck and not lose it. But it's actually variable, so it goes from very dim to very bright. So, just because the light is red, if there's a lot of luminosity, a lot of brightness, you can still kind of mess up your night vision. So you definitely want to kind of use these to the point where they're just enough light to see detail in these maps, okay? So you just don't want to overdo it. But this is a great option as well. Typically these aren't very expensive either. Another option is these twisty lights. Can be twisted around, and it's got a red light on it. When you pull out, it gets a white light, so you can put the filter on or off. Again, this is a nice one. You can twist this around things like a tripod leg or something like that. But this is pretty good too. It's just not adjustable. And then I do see people with headlamps. Headlamps are great because they're, hands-free, so you can do things. But this one has a bright center white light, and then it's got some. It's got a little red bulb there, and it's got a green one, and then of course the center one is the white light. These are pretty good. I like these because they're good when you're setting up or trying to understand maybe something around your telescope. You need to make some adjustments. But this is a pretty bright, unshielded red light. And it can be a problem if, you're at a star party and, you've got this light on and someone comes up to talk to you and they're, this really bright, intense red light is just shining in their face. So, it's kind of you got to make sure you're kind of a little bit more careful with this. And when I say careful, you just got to have a little etiquette when you go out and you're observing with other people. So, but do definitely like the headlamp. I'm going to also talk a little about your iPhones. So here we have iPhone, and if you've ever turned these on or whatever, out in the darkness, they are really, really bright, and it's just like shining a flashlight in your face. So there's a way to adjust the intensity on here, and if you go to settings and you go to accessibility, display and text size, and you go down to color filters, you can actually turn on the color filter and get a nice red screen, and you can adjust it to some degree as well. Okay, so this is really helpful. A lot of star charts can be accessed through an app on the phone, so this is kind of nice to use as well. You can also do the same type of adjustment like on a Mac or whatever. I have seen people, cover these with a piece of red, transparent plastic material or something like that, and that works pretty well as well. All right, and then the last one, which is actually my favorite, is this one. So this is actually a reading lamp that I converted. So it's got a really nice clip here. You can clip, to something, a table or a chair or something. It's got a lamp. So the original lamp was pretty bright. What I did is I took some manila envelopes and cut out discs and took this cover off and just layered them in there. So I don't get a red light. I actually get an orange light, kind of an orange glow light. And I got the idea for this from actually this star chart, where the author actually prefers a subdued white light over a red light. And I personally have to agree with him, because I think you just get a lot more detail, and I think if you layer enough material in here, you can get a nice orange glow without affecting your night vision too much. Maybe it's a little controversial, people say, well, that's not going to help you or anything, but there is some evidence that an orange light will actually be pretty effective. Like this one, it's got a USB connector, and I can attach it to my Dynamo Pro from Orion. This is a lithium power supply. This is used for telescope operations, powering clock drives and stuff. It's also nice because it's got a couple of red light features like that. These are pretty bright. But it's got some USB ports in the back and an AC output as well. So I just plug it in here and turn it on. You can see the light right there. And it's got some adjustments as well. And what I do is I just attach it right here to my battery like that. And I can just carry this around and set it down wherever I need to and adjust it. Battery, this is a little bit more expensive. If you're just starting out, you probably don't need something so elaborate, but maybe down the road you can think about something like that. Alright, so we're going to do a little test of our different lights. And let me go ahead and turn off the overheads here, and we'll start with this one. So again, here we are observing. It's really dark. Gonna look at something in my star chart. I can't see anything. Don't want to mess up my night vision, so I'm going to turn on my light with the red filter, and you can see that I can definitely read my star chart. So this is not a bad light. Very inexpensive. A lot of detail here. Not too bright. Again, don't be shining this into people's faces when you're out there. But you can definitely see stuff on your telescope as well. Very good light. So let's go with the adjustable light next. And here you can see that we can adjust the brightness. So again, go super bright, which really may not help your night vision too much, but you can go really, really dim. I mean, almost to the point where you can hardly see it. But I really like this one. This is a great one because this really works well, and you can definitely find that, you know, where you're most comfortable with here. Okay, the next one I'm going to go with, let's go with the Twisty Light. So this one, just pretty much a standard flashlight. Okay, no adjustments here. Okay, it's pretty much like the first one. And let's see what else we've got here. And then we're going to go with, oh, and my phone just went off, so we can kind of see how dim it is. So now that we've dimmed it up a little bit with our color filters, okay, it's not so blinding. So, you know, if somebody, you know, texts you or calls you, or you're using the Sky Atlas on here, it's not so blinding. It's still pretty bright, but not too bad. And then my last one is we're going to go ahead and try, actually we want to try the headlamp. Let's do the headlamp. And let's turn it on sometimes. Okay, that's the bright light. We don't want to use that one. See how blinding that is? So there's the red lamp. Again, it's pretty bright. I mean, if you pointing this in someone's face and you know, a star party, it can be pretty annoying, even though it is the red. And the last one, which is my favorite, is the reading lamp I converted. So let me turn this off. So I'll turn this one on. There we go. So again, you can see the orange light there. And you can also set the intensity for brighter or dimmer. So there's the dim setting. And you can go a little bit brighter too. But I really like this one because it's really easy to see stuff. If you're writing down things as well, it's pretty good. Like this lamp, it's got like a bunch of different options, and you can change the light intensity, backgrounds, so forth. It's doing a little bit more orange there. So anyway, those are some of the options that you can think about when you're out there. Let's go ahead and turn the lights back on. So again, that kind of summarizes it. You know, if you're just starting out, I would just stick with something pretty basic. You know, it's always a good idea to have a really bright light out there too, just in case of an emergency or something. Maybe at the end of the night when you're, you know, taking your telescope in, or, you know, there's nobody else around, you can use a nice bright light to help you see a little bit better. But always keep extra batteries too. You know, I've found that's pretty helpful. You know, you're out there and some of your light goes out and it can be pretty dark. That's about it. You know, again, you can go with red, maybe an orange. There's a little bit of controversy there, but you know, would like to hear your opinions in the comment section. And that's about it. So clear skies and happy observing.